I am Heidi B from Heidi's House podcast, and I'm here to let you know that you can help this podcast to go, grow, and glow by making a little PayPal donation. I am very grateful of all support, and it truly does make a difference. You can also support by liking and subscribing. Link for PayPal donations here. Sending you blessings and love. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Heidi's House. I'm your host, Queen Bee Heidi B. And in today's episode, our featured guest is Lee Wells. He is a DJ and radio presenter at UK-based Cheeky Radio. So let's find out more about his house music story. Are you ready? Then let's go. So here he is, straight from UK. Lee Wells is in the house. Welcome, welcome.
Hey Heidi.
Hi.
Thank you for having me on your show. It's an absolute honor and a privilege.
I'm super happy to have you joining in this podcast as well. And we had in a previous episode your beautiful, amazing wife joining as well. So
she's the star of the show. She is. She's the star of the house.
She's beautiful and absolutely amazing. And congratulations for her latest release of reaching the top number one position.
Yeah, gotta be good. It's gotta be good. It's gotta be good. It's doing really well.
Yes.
Really well, yeah. But so proud of her.
I am too. And shout out to Ania there as well.
She's got headphones on at the moment, so
yes.
She's in work mode, as always.
Beautiful.
I always think there's something else to write.
Yes, that's what we creatives, that's what we do. That's what we all do.
And that is why I'm just a DJ, you know. I'm lucky enough to play the good music that them artists out there supply, so
it's a beautiful, you know, the distribution of tasks for both of you. Yes, there's a beautiful combination. Now, since we are having you as our today's episode's featured guest,
be kind to me.
Yes, I'm gonna just, you know, be bold and jump straight into the first question of our interview. So, ready or not, here we go.
Here we go.
So, could you tell us a bit about who is Lee Wells?
Gosh, well, I'm at the moment a presenter on Cheeky Radio in the UK, which is probably about one of the top 3 biggest internet soul stations here. I've been here 4 years on this station now. I'm primarily a soul DJ, so housey kind of stuff is tucked under a little bit. You know, I'm more of a housey kind, a soul-y kind of guy. But started DJing about 1987 with my best friend Toby Pagano, who's a bit older than myself. He introduced me to like the Motown, the jazz funk. So from there, which was like a couple of years ago, I've enjoyed all the soul scene since, and I've played different kind of events everywhere. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Beautiful, and that's a remarkable career. It's a few years ago already that you have done.
Yeah, but just a couple, Heidi. Just a couple of years ago.
Yep. All right. So, since you mentioned you are more about the soul music, but you are also playing some house. So,
yeah. Well, there is that kind of, you know, crossover, and there's obviously. I'll let you finish the question. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Actually, the question is gonna be a little bit now modified. So, what got you into soul music, and where is that house came into picture? Let's put it like.
Right. Well, like I said, the soul music came from my best friend Terry Pagano.
Mhm.
When I was about 15, 16, he used to be best friends with my eldest brother, so they're a lot older than me, and
Ah,
Terry's a lot older than me. So, going out with my eldest brother, I met Terry, and he used to play this music around his house, and I used to think, wow, that's great. My brother would play music like the Sex Pistols and the Clash
ah,
and rocky kind of stuff, whereas wasn't really into music at kind of that age, but I'd listen to like people like Grandmaster Flash, Mel, D Train. I thought, well, Kool and the Gang,
mhm.
Donna Summer, the Jacksons. I thought this is good, but he introduced me to that step further, the
Yeah,
soul funk, the jazz funk. So from there, we then kind of hit the mid to 8 90s when kind of heard like Jack the Groove, like
hmm,
Still See Curling, Frankie Knuckles, and Marshall Jefferson, like Move Your Body. I
yeah,
thought, wow, this is a great beat. This is so that kind of was in my arsenal playing out as well. So I always liked the Chicago sound
yeah,
back in the 80s. So that was also part of my performance, but I still play out now. So even now, I'm still playing that Chicago sound. So that's where that came in. That's when I first kind of got into that kind of housey music, but it was adjacent to my soul music. So
yeah,
soul music also came first, but house music came a little bit. But now you've also got the soulful house,
true.
new disco, funky house, all that kind of stuff, which is obviously come through the disco scene and soul scene because they're taking cuts and loops from that.
Yeah, and I'm absolute fan of soulful house myself, and
Mm.
that's the favorite genre of house for me also to sing.
Mm-hmm.
So it has those roots, and obviously, like you mentioned, disco and funk have very
Yeah.
very big influence on that as well. And you are really I'm listening. You are taking it from the original roots, so from Gigi
Mm.
itself, the house. The pure,
That's where
pure,
it all came from.
yeah, exactly.
It's where it came from.
From the original source, so to say.
Yeah, exactly. So you think, the original sound of Chicago, how that came, where do those roots come from? Obviously, it came from like the disco scene, the
Mhm.
soul scene, the beats. And then it just sort of progressed that another step.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And now, of course, we've got the new disco
Hmm.
called new disco. So that's another derivative of the soul scene, soul house, if you like.
Yeah, I have to say that I'm very happy and I'm glad to see that kind of a little bit revival of that sound.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, absolutely.
for the singers and especially something very lovely and nice, and it's very
Yeah,
vibrant, happy, dancey, of course.
it is because you can take an old song and make that into a house soulful house track.
True.
So something that maybe came out in the 70s, 60s, 70s, you can remix that to a beat now,
Yeah.
and then you'll find the I sort of call them kids, 18 to 30-year olds dancing to that, and you think, wow, I played the original that back in 1980 something,
True, true that,
and
true that.
it's always good to see, people dancing to that kind of music. It just sort of just wish the original. I wonder how this original would go down.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And really the when we think about even early disco and funk, it was really about true musicianship still,
Mm. Oh,
and the knowing the learning the instruments and music and true vocals and so on. So
absolutely.
that has been something that I remember we talked in previous episodes with many of the guests that kind of real true musician sound.
Mm.
It's something that we still love to and
Yeah.
want to see happening in a scene.
There's
And there's
there's
a lot of uh, more or less modified or even let's say artificial things going on. So it's
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to move with the times, but from a nostalgic point of view, to hear
Mhm.
that record go on, to hear that crackling of the vinyl when it first
Yeah,
starts up, then straight into the musicians, the proper sound. Even though it's obviously gone through the studio, but you can hear the real live instruments on there. You know.
Like, and I think it never goes out of style. It's
No,
always in.
absolutely not. You know
Timeless.
a proper DJ until you're DJed on vinyl. That's what they say.
Oh yes.
Unfortunately, I do remember that.
I tried that too. It's not so easy. Not so easy.
No, it isn't easy when you first start, but it gives you good grounding, like for
Mm-hmm.
when you get a bit older, like now with the digital decks and everything like that, because you can hear the beat. You've been
Yeah,
trained to hear a beat.
true.
It's not in front of you like now. It's got the bum bum bum, the big counter for you. You're
Yeah.
trained to hear that beat and you know when to mix it in on vinyl. You know when to get that cue
Yeah.
point right.
Yeah.
That's all done for you. Just press a button,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
done for you.
Takes a lot of skills and training of the ear and then the finger and eye coordination, everything.
That's it. You
Lot-
speed the decks up, run it down a bit, speed it, turn it down. So there's a lot, you know. There's people say they're DJs now, but if we whiz them back to 1985, then stick a couple of 1210s in front of them,
Yeah.
let them get on with it.
I always consider DJs really, especially the ones that playing the original vinyl, but in general, as an instrumentalist as well, and
Mm,
in that sense that because when you learn that instrument and those tools, that gear properly, you
yeah,
truly can, I would say that,
yeah.
you can be an instrumentalist as well there.
People like Grandmaster Flash made those
Oh,
turntables his
yes,
instrument.
absolutely.
Amazing, amazing. I've tried scratching. Did I get it right? No. Mixing, I'm fine with. Scratching,
Yeah.
I didn't have the patience.
Well, who knows? Maybe one day.
That was it. Done. That's my scratching.
Never say never.
No, well, no, that's true.
All right. But let's continue to our next question. Now, Lee, what are for you the artists that have been inspiring you the most?
Oh gosh, no.
It's difficult, I know.
Yeah, it
Some
is.
of them.
I would probably say my favourite soul band are probably the OJs.
Mhm.
The Sound of Philadelphia. I love the Sound of Philly, particularly
Yeah.
Tom Moulton, who actually invented the 12-inch single and did a lot of Philly sounds and stuff like that. And I've actually video chatted with Tom Moulton
Oh,
a
wow.
couple of Christmas, 2018 Christmas, I think it was. We video chatted Tom Moulton, said, "Look, I've got Anya's song to mix if you want it." He'd come up on screen. I was like, "It's Tom
Oh,
Moulton. It's
my
Tom
God.
Moulton talking to me," you know.
Oh,
And he actually remixed Anya's "Let's Feel Good" Tom Moulton mix. Now that is in my vaults. That's never ever been played out. So
mm,
I would say, going back to the original question, I would say the OJs were for me just fantastic. The way they sang, the different styles of music they came out with. My favorite track is oh oh gosh, what's my favorite OJ's track? I'm gonna, You're My Favorite Person. There we go.
all right.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But those and probably the Fatback Band.
Mhm,
They
mhm.
were the first real soul group I saw live back in '88.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah, and Bill Curtis, the lead singer, I've got voiceovers from him and chats from him as well. So yeah, those two guys, those two bands were probably the biggest influence in me becoming a soul DJ.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so audience, check those out. Good music,
Mm,
beautiful, classic, beautiful soul
beautiful.
that never goes out of style.
Yeah.
Even you might get inspired, some of them might inspired to do some house mixes out of those because
Well, I think that you will find there will be some kind of mix out there with Fatback Band and OJ's by somebody, whether they take a part of the song and mixed it in. Angie Stone, I think she's done one. Wish I didn't. Wish I'd live here anymore. Was I wish,
yes,
and that was Backstabbers.
true.
Cut from
The
that was
samples from the
Backstabbers.
back
The
stab.
sample was the samples was well, the sample was
Yeah.
Backstabbers. So that's how it progresses. You see, so
Hmm, hmm.
you know,
True, true, true. If you listen, that's the whole background, the
ding ding
basic
ding
theme
ding.
there's, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
there. That's right there.
So that's that kind of leap, of progression they call it, I suppose. But when you get a nice remix like Angie Stone's one, and she did that, oh, that was really good song.
Beautiful as well. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing on those inspiring artists. And
Pleasure.
now I'm gonna take you to another question that is more about house music. What would be important tracks for you? I have been asking like top three, but you could say just generally that which house tracks are
Yeah,
doing it for you, so to say.
yeah. I mean, I do love playing the house tracks when I get a chance to. Like Marshall Jefferson, "Move Your Body." The intro on that, the piano, "Move
Yeah.
Your Body." Rude Boys, "House Nation." I think that was another one, but not a good one.
Mhm.
This stuff I used to get on the floor to as well, and dance about. And
Yeah.
Jack the Groove. I know it's like commercial kind of stuff, but that was a kind of another step that brought the house sound in the UK. Those
Yes.
kind of sounds. And Steve Silk Hurley, Frankie Knuckles, those kind of guys. Still remixing now. You
Yeah.
know, lots of Steve Silk Hurley is. So yeah,
And like you mentioned earlier, a lot of this Chicago sound and yes, obviously, I think most of the people following the house music know or
yeah,
should know move your body,
yeah.
but
If you if you took a house DJ probably at my age and said to him, where do you find your roots are, probably going to just go straight back to Chicago,
Mhm.
and that kind of era where it really started to hit mainstream, if you like every music always started underground, you
True,
know, and then it
true.
just came out commercial, and obviously there's some underground mixes that came out, and I loved it, Nitro Deluxe, Let's Get Brutal, one of my favorite house songs,
Mhm.
really good, instrumental, but a great tune.
Yes, and we are gonna actually hear those two tracks, "Move Your
Mm,
Body" and "Let's Get
yeah,
Brutal" in a mini mix following this interview,
brilliant.
and some more also, uh, some track from your beautiful wife Ania. So
Yeah,
you're gonna hear that too. Yes.
Summers of Coldest Season will always play an important part of my life because that was the song I actually first heard Anya sing on
Mhm.
radio, and I thought, wow, this is a good tune. So
Yeah.
and I thought, well, I'm going to have to interview this young lady,
Mhm.
and so I think a week or so later, I interviewed her, and we hit it off from that, and here we are now, almost 4 years married.
Ooh,
Yeah.
so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
If it
Ah,
wasn't
that
I was in that
story.
night and heard that song, I never would have met Anya.
Oh, can you imagine? But life is
Mm,
beautiful when it brings you, and then truly we can say that music unites people. In
exactly.
your case, especially.
It really did. Yeah, it really did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, Now, I'm gonna adjust a little bit since you this interview questions. I usually tend to ask quite similar set of questions, but according to the person that I'm interviewing, of course, then a little modification. And now, since you happen to mention about the UK scene and UK house scene, um, what are your how would you say? Who would be the major artist for you in a UK house scene, if
Gosh,
you explore
now
that?
you're asking me a question. Oh, do you
Because the
know?
sound is a bit different there. Like, the European
Yeah.
house it started to evolve. Let's say that who would you see most instrumental for the UK scene? Let's modify it a little bit more, maybe.
Uh, Now you've asked me a real tricky question because, like I said, I'm more of a solely kind of
Mhm.
guy. I mean that I normally go by who's remixing the songs. So
Okay.
if I can hear a good remix of a song by a guy, then I would say, I know it's like not answering your question, but
Mhm.
um, the guys that I like, whether I'm not sure they're all UK based, Jet Boot Jack, Adriel, Some of his mixes, Jet
Yes.
Blue Jack, fantastic, really good. He actually did some work with Andy as well and
Mhm.
remixed a song, uh, Donna Summer, Last Dance. You
Yes.
listen to that track of Anya's, and that just blows you away. But people like Jet Boot Jack, Michael Gray,
Mm.
Dr. Packer,
Yeah.
those kind of guys who remix these tracks. All right, they're not always house, but they're really good. Block and Crown
True.
churn music out all the time. Jester Funk, um, all those guys. They just make music because I'm not going to say it's easy to make music now, but they seem to be churn out enough music for the house scene, if you like. I couldn't really tell you who the main artist is on the house scene right now,
Mm. But I
but
think
remixes wise,
you were mentioning very, very great names there who have been making a deep impact. And what I'm listening is when you describe those artists, they are really fusing the house and that disco and new
Soulful House,
disco,
yeah,
funk,
New
those kind of,
Disco,
yeah, they those
those
elements
guys.
together. And I have to agree also that I listen all of them a lot, and I dance to them a lot. So so
Exactly,
that's the
yeah.
club thing, they are very strong in a club
Mm,
environment especially.
yeah.
So I think you know since I gave you quite unfair task, so I
That's
think
okay.
you did
I
very
couldn't. I
well.
mean,
The
I'm gonna
reflection.
have to Google it now. Who's the UK scene? But yeah, those kind of guys. When you listen to their remixes, I mean, sometimes you'll hear something. You go, "God, why do they have to they do that?" But then
Mm,
you'll hear another song from the same guy remixing, and you think, "Wow, what a remix that is!"
yeah.
I was playing out to a club a couple of weeks back, and I dropped Jet Boot Jack's Bill Withers' "Lovely Day,"
Mhm.
his remix of that, and it went down a storm. And I'm thinking these 18, 19-year olds singing along to this. How the hell do they know these words? But they're singing along to it. And you think, wow, this is like really pumped up new disco kind of sound, housey sound. And they're dancing to this lovely day. You know, if I put the original on, they would probably go, what's this crap?
Yeah, and probably wouldn't even know the original and so
No,
on. So artists like that, they kind of like revive the
the new
classic
lease of
track.
life. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm happy to say that Jack has also agreed to be joining to this
Ah,
podcast. So
you can
so
tell him then that because I know Adriel. You can tell him
yeah,
I've given us good
we
shout outs.
shout out to Adriel. And looking forward that episode as well in near future. But yes, now
He's actually played at one of my events. Yeah.
really, oh,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful. Now I would like to continue to you a little bit more since you are a DJ and radio personality
Hmm?
and you have been doing that for quite a while. So would you be uh, able to share some of the highlight moments in your own career as a DJ and
Yeah.
as a radio presenter? You mentioned already a little bit earlier, but something like, what
Yeah.
stands out. Why?
Okay. Some of the biggest things that stand out to me is being able to play radio sets at Case to Soul Weekend, which is one of the biggest soul weekends ever. Was running for like 40 years. It's changed now. So that was a big highlight of my career. Be able to do that for a few years. And regarding radio wise, I think that the one of the best interviews I ever did was with Chris Jasper, the Isley Brothers. Putting
Mm.
Tom Moulton aside because he just popped into a chat on Tom Moulton, but
Yeah.
I had Chris Jasper on radio, and he was absolutely brilliant,
Yeah.
proper gentleman. Because when I do the radio interviews, I do it like we're having a cup of tea, and what do you have for breakfast today, all that sort of stuff, and he was really good, and I got so much praise because of that interview. One of probably the best interview I've ever done. But
Oh,
he was
that's
definitely one of the highlights of my career.
That's
speaking to podcast on there.
amazing. That's amazing. And to
Really
have that kind of artist, and to all that
massive.
experience, massive, and all the whole Isley Brothers career that what they have done,
Yeah.
and so on.
And
So it's like a
he
living
didn't. He didn't.
legend.
He didn't hold back on anything. We asked some questions about this and that, and and obviously the brothers and that. But he didn't hold back on nothing. He was absolutely brilliant. You're perfect guy to interview.
Oh,
Really good.
wonderful,
Really good.
wonderful.
Yeah. So
Is it?
that's it.
That's the highlight. Is it, by the
Yeah.
way, anywhere available for listening nowadays, or is there?
Yes, if you go to cheekyradio.co.uk,
Mhm.
you'll see, type in schedule, you'll see the schedule that myself and Anya is on as well.
Yes.
We do a show on Mondays, not the first Monday of the month, but we do a show on Mondays, 8 o'clock till 10 together. And I do my Ultimate Soul show on 8 o'clock on Wednesdays.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, be there.
Be there
Wednesday.
and check those
Wednesday.
previous interviews. Amazing guests you
Yeah.
have had there. And now that leads us beautifully to
There is one more
oh,
thing, sorry,
yes,
about the
yes.
radio presenter as well. When COVID struck,
Mhm.
myself and Anya and I, we did a couple of more shows a week because obviously we were in lockdown,
Yes. Yes.
and we put a podcast on. Now, since that, I think it was 2020, that podcast, and I think last year we hit over 11 million downloads of our show. And
Wow,
that's another big high. 11
that's
million worldwide.
huge,
Yeah,
huge, huge, huge.
so that's another big tick.
Congratulations again.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
haven't checked it in
goodness.
a while, so it's probably, hopefully it's about 12 million now.
Yes, so people, check it out as well.
Mm.
Is it available in the same spot?
Yeah, it's on Podomatic. So if you type in Lee Wells Ultimate Soul Show Podomatic, you'll find on it, or Lee Wells Cheeky Radio Podcast, then you'll find it. Easy peasy.
Wonderful. And thank you for sharing about that. And now it leads us to the next question. I know this house podcast is very brief. It's almost like a snapshot of each of our
Hmm.
featured guests, and I always feel that we could talk much more for hours or have several episodes actually if we start to dig deeper into each question. But since we are doing this little snapshot, I would like to ask now more about Cheeky Radio. And could you tell what you are currently, what kind of programs you run, and is there any kind of future projects that we could be aware of? Something that is currently going on.
Yeah. Well, the Cheeky Radio has been running, I think, about 7 or 8 years now. We have got some fantastic presenters on the show. You can check out again on the website Cheeky Radio. Check out the schedule on there. We do have a range of styles of music that people play, from reggae, soulful house. A lot of people play soulful house. For myself and Anya, on Monday, we kind of go across the board on the Mondays. Anything from two-step to Philly to soulful house to remixes, all that kind of stuff. R&B. It's more of a relaxing show. We talk a lot. We have fun with the guests or fun with the listeners. Wednesday show, my Wednesday is I kind of dig a bit deeper into the soul scene, disco scene, the rare disco, two-step, game old Philly tracks. One or two remixes that come out. If I like a remix, I'll put it on. But as regard to Cheeky Radio presenters, myself, I do a lot of events as well. So I've got some events coming up in
Yes.
May. If you can see behind me.
That was I was thinking that let's go to
Yeah.
that because
This is very soon, May. We've got a boogie nights happening, so I'll be playing with some tunes from the 70s and 80s disco. Anya will be singing live. I've got a couple of DJs as well, Diggsy from Cheeky Radio, Somesy and Kev. They'll be coming down spinning some tunes, but it's all about the disco. So we're going to get our flares on, all our sparkly gear on.
oh my, I wish I was there.
We did one at Christmas and it was packed solid. and it was fantastic.
Imagine.
Really, really good. And the following day, we're at Royston Football Club,
Mhm.
a music festival. Last year we did that. There was over 3,000 people there. And I was a compere and DJ, and Kev just helped me out with DJ. Anya was singing as well. She got straight into the crowd, as Anya does. She gets the microphone, just walks around the crowd singing.
Beautiful.
She got the crowd up, but that was brilliant. Yeah, so those are the two things we've got on in May. We've got other stuff coming up as well, but you can check my page for that as well. Yeah.
People, please, please, please tune in. If especially if you happen to be in UK or if you are planning to be there during those
Mm.
times now, so that will be something great for you to experience. And if I happen to be around, I'll
And
be there.
if this show goes on the 24th, tomorrow, guys, the Saturday, come here.
Yes, exactly, exactly, and that's the case. So it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Yes, yes,
there's 7
absolutely.
p.m.
Date
Now
that
the
this.
tickets, the tickets at the moment, well, as we speak,
Mhm.
are £5. They could go up to £10 by the 24th. So you never know. But it's £10 for 5 hours of great music, live singer, so cheap.
Beautiful. One of the most excellent singers. So
Oh,
so be there.
trust me, when Anya sings live, the place just stops, honestly. Really, really. No auto tunes or anything like that. What you hear is the same as what you hear on a record. People think
Absolutely.
Anya, people have been to gigs before when people think Anya's a CD playing. They think this is a CD and it's not. It's Anya actually singing.
Yeah.
So trust me, guys. Give
Be
some
there. Be
yeah,
there. If
guys.
you're in the UK,
Yeah.
go there.
You can also come and see me if you want. You know.
Yes, true, 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 true. The beautiful, beautiful team there. Okay, we are about to be at the end of this interview. Just if somebody would like to know more about Lee Wells, how can they find you in social media? If we
You can find me mostly on Facebook under Lee Wells Cheeky Radio. I've got Instagram as well, Lee Wells 69, I think it is. And TikTok, I think if you just type in Lee Wells Cheeky Radio, it comes up on there as well. But mostly on Facebook, or you can go to ultimatesouluk@gmail.com, pop an email in. But you'll find everything on my page that you want to know. And if you want to book me, shameless plug for your things, you can book that as too. So,
All right. Well, Lee Wells, I am very grateful that we had this chance to have
oh,
this
it's my
little
pleasure. It's been
talk and
fun.
interview. And again, I thank you dearly and I wish you all the best. I'm gonna tune in to Cheeky Radio
Tomorrow
and
night,
I'm gonna, be giving you full support with all the events
excellent.
going on. And I send you both, you and Anya, many blessings and love straight from Helsinki,
Thank
Finland.
you so much. Thank you, Heidi. Been
And
great. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
likewise, been wonderful experience. So thank you again.
Thanks, guys. Take care. God bless.
God
Thanks,
bless.
Heidi.
Thanks. Bye bye.